Phoenix is about to make the playoffs. All they had to do was flip Kelly Oubre Jr., cap filler, and a protected first rounder for Chris Paul. I'm on record saying that CP3 to the Suns was a bad idea. They could have done even more with that cap space, but this will get Devin Booker to the postseason. This video reacts to the trade, calling out the winners and losers. Hey, it's Casey. Welcome to AM Hoops. 3 winners, 3 losers in this trade, and the last loser, it really is sad. Hit subscribe. We're trying to make 100,000 subs by January 1st. I know we can do it. If you like this video, share this video. A lot of breaking news this week, so we're going to have our normal 5 videos per week at 9 a.m. Eastern, plus going to sprinkle in breaking news videos like this one. Let's start with the obvious winner. That's Devin Booker. The Ringer reported the worst kept secret in the NBA is Book wants out of Phoenix. That may or may not be true, but you know it motivated the Suns to do this deal. There were several teams trying to get CP3. Phoenix had to move a decent vet, Ricky Rubio, a good young player, Kelly Oubre Jr., and a protected first. Chris Paul is an upgrade over Rubio. He was an all-star and all-NBA selection for the first time in 4 years. He's better in every way than Rubio. Outside scoring, playmaking, especially defense. The Suns obviously hope Chris Paul brings that Thunder magic that turned OKC from an afterthought to one of the best regular season teams in the West. He'll make his teammates better for sure. The pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton will be lethal. The open shots CP3 is about to generate for Devin Booker will make Book a back-to-back all-star guaranteed. In the Suns offseason video linked above, I showed a way to get Fred VanVleet and Serge Ibaka. VanVleet is almost 10 years younger than CP3, and he should make half the money. That deal was a long shot though, and if this is all it took to get Chris Paul, fine. Now, losing Kelly Oubre does hurt, but it's not as bad as some people are saying. Yes, he is flashy and wears cool clothes, but his game is just slightly above average. A good shooter, yes. A bad defender though, and they went 8-0 in the bubble without him. Oubre is 24 years old, but the Suns have other forwards on that timeline. Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are both coming off good years, and it makes sense the Suns front office could live without Oubre. Our first loser, the Houston Rockets. Yes, Houston traded Chris Paul to the Thunder for Russell Westbrook, but included 2 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps. CP3's stock went way up and Westbrook's way down. Now this trade brings the Westbrook total to 3 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps for OKC. The Thunder fleeced the Rockets. If Houston blows up their team, which could happen any minute now, OKC owns their future. Good luck tanking when 2 future firsts go to the Thunder. I do not blame ex-Rockets front office guy Daryl Morey. It's been rumored that the trade happened because new owner Tillman Fertitta wanted it, and it kept James Harden happy. This was not part of Daryl Morey's vision. So another winner, the OKC front office. The Thunder own 16 first-round picks in the next 6 years. Look at these. The bulk of them came from the 5 picks in the Paul George trade, the pick from the Lakers for Dennis Schroeder, and now the Suns pick for Chris Paul, plus all their own picks. There's no way that Sam Presti, the Thunder front office guy, is going to draft with all these. One of the most fascinating storylines the next few years is what is OKC going to do with all these picks? They could draft if they wanted to, they could trade for a win-now player, or they could move up in a draft if they really like a prospect. It is not a guarantee, though, that the Thunder will be great. I mean, just look at the Celtics. It felt like they had 1 million picks in every draft, but they never made that blockbuster trade. After this year, they don't have a treasure chest of future picks anymore. Now, Boston, of course, has a really good young team, but they're not elite. They're not a title favorite. My point is, yes, the Thunder are definitely a winner here, but they still have to use all those future picks in a really smart plan. Our next loser, the Milwaukee Bucks. For 2 days in a row now, the Bucks lost out on a good OKC guard. A report said that Giannis's team lost the bid for Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers. LA traded for Schroeder, sending Danny Green and the 28th pick. The Bucks' main trade chip, Eric Bledsoe. You know Milwaukee wanted CP3, they just don't have the assets to get him. Bledsoe's not enough. I think the Thunder preferred Danny Green's expiring contract over Bledsoe's deal with about 2 years, $35 million left. What will the Bucks do now? I think the only way to get Giannis help is trading for Victor Oladipo or Drew Holiday. Holiday, of course, will be coveted by a lot of other teams with better assets. So really, it's just Oladipo. Is Vic good enough to get the Bucks to the finals? Well, after he came back from injury, he posted career lows across the board. If the Bucks go into next season as is, I think they lose bad in the playoffs again. The Heat are a year older. The Nets are back healthy with KD and Kyrie, plus whoever they trade for. Losing Chris Paul could be the beginning of the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. Our next winner of the Chris Paul deal could be the Golden State Warriors. There are rumors that the Dubs wanted Kelly Oubre Jr. for the number 2 pick. The Suns were not a great trade partner. Phoenix clearly is trying to make the playoffs. They don't want an unpolished rookie, even if he is the number 2 pick. The Thunder, though, would love to take that top pick for Oubre, even if it means flipping some of their future first. This actually could be the long-term plan for OKC. They might know Golden State wants Oubre, fitting into their trade exception. A trade of Oubre and 2 future firsts could get the number 2 pick from Golden State. Our last loser, though, is one unlucky Western Conference team. Someone is gonna miss the playoffs. Who is it? I really do think Phoenix will break through, especially with this trade. Booker is more than ready. DeAndre Ayton has a chip on his shoulder. Chris Paul is the finishing touch. Who misses the playoffs that made it last year? We won't really know who this loser is until playoff time next season. Who made it in the bubble that misses it next year? Oh, OKC? Yeah, the Warriors are taking their spot. I think the candidates are the Rockets, the Jazz, or maybe the Mavericks if Luka misses any time with injury. Obviously, it's Houston if they lose James Harden, but that's not guaranteed. All I know is it's a competitive West next year, and even Phoenix making the playoffs isn't a sure thing. Oh, if it is Houston, by the way, yeah, they'd be in the lottery. But you guessed it, the Thunder could take that draft position if they want to because of the Chris Paul trade and one of those pick swaps. So it is a big win for the Suns getting CP3, but the Rockets are a double loser. So yes, this is really exciting, but it was really unexpected for Chris Paul to have an all-NBA type season last year on the Thunder. I mean, everyone counted them out. So expecting Chris Paul to be that good this year in Phoenix is not a guarantee, but still, I think he does get them over the hump to make the playoffs for the first time in 11 seasons. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a daily NBA video.